morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Welcome to Morning Breath for February 22nd, 2015.
The day of the snow.
Yeah, the day after, as it will be known. You couldn't find anything at Super King, could you?
Oh, it was so funny. It was like apocalyptic in there.
It doesn't make any sense.
I know. We're like, if you guys should look at my Facebook wall, I posted a photo, but we were like, oh, we better go to the store to get some food. There was no food. There was no food. There was no cheese. There was no meat. There was no chips. I mean, we managed to scrape together some things.
Yeah.
But it was crazy, and apparently every Super King is like that.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
By the way, if you're a Coloradoan and you're wondering what the heck Super King is,
We renamed it.
Yeah.
It was King Supers, but we didn't like it.
Now it's Super King. So, Kroger Corporation, if you're listening, we took care of it for you. It's okay.
Don't worry. I also sound like a phone sex operator today because I'm clearly losing my voice. I think just from exhaustion and singing a lot. We had a lot of really long gigs this week, so, and also, talking and working a day job where I talk on the phone a lot all day. So hopefully we'll be good to go by next week because we're doing a concert window on Thursday, February 26th, which is my birthday. I don't know how to celebrate, so I was like, oh, let's do a concert window and make everybody come that cares about me. Trickery.
Now I get it. Now I understand.
I know, but it'll be fun, so you guys should tune in and request songs and stuff. So
what do you want to talk about today?
Today, we decided the topic today would be a topic that Ed and I have been talking a lot about this week on a personal level. So we figured we would share it with everybody. And that is the word of the week, which is readjustment.
Yep.
We've been a band, a duo, for about a year now, and we've been paying a lot of dues and playing a lot of gigs, some amazing gigs and some not so amazing gigs. And, we had a not so amazing gig last week, and it wasn't awful. It was just kind of like, we're like, okay, what can we do so we don't have these not so amazing gigs anymore? Because we feel like we're at that point where we only want to do gigs that not only serve us, but also serve you,
Yeah.
It doesn't really seem like it's necessary for us to be playing music at some of these places that want us to be there playing music. So we talked about it, and we decided the thing to do is to readjust.
Yeah, so really what it boils down to is just trying to focus on shows and venues that can help connect us with an audience better, an audience that's there for the primary purpose of listening to a group. A lot of venues, just in general, there are a number of venues, and everybody's played shows at venues like this where you're there for entertainment, which is why you're at any venue, but the entertainment is secondary at a lot of places.
Yeah, often not even that,
Yeah.
It seems like a lot of these places, it seems like it's something that they feel like they should do and not something that's appropriate.
So it's well-intentioned.
Yeah, No, yeah,
it's
never, it's not
but
we don't want to shed a negative light on this topic. We were talking about to be cautious of that before we brought it up.
Yeah.
Because, if a place is really that bad, we're just never going to set foot in there again. I don't really, we've only had a couple of those in our experience. But I think the goal is just to kind of, let's go back to the day we started Whitherward. The whole thing was, let's have fun. We're going to do it for fun. And when it's not fun anymore, we're not going to do it. And it's still fun.
Yeah.
But the things that aren't fun, we kind of eliminate those.
Yeah, we do as best of a job as we can to not do the things that we're not enjoying, or aren't, as you said, serving us or serving the audience,
And honestly, this pertains to life too. I hope that if you're watching, you get something out of this, because it's not just something we took on for the band. It's something we took on for ourselves that we decided we were going to do together. If it's not, obviously there's things in life you have to do. You have to work a job and you have to pay your bills. And these aren't things that you want to do all the time. But if there's something out there that you don't have to do, then why do it if it's not serving you or anybody else?
Yeah. I personally have always been kind of at odds with the concept of paying dues. I think it's something that is kind of perpetuated in a lot of mostly artistic stuff. Like, that's where it comes up the most, is in the arts. Like, you have it in everything, but I personally have always been kind of at odds with it. It's like, well, if that's the mentality that people throw at you, that you have to do X, Y, and Z, regardless of how terrible they may be for you, then I would just as soon not do it. I think that's not the way. I think if you do X, Y, and Z with the purpose of, these are the things I absolutely want to do, then you're freeing up your mind and your attitude to be more receptive to anything surrounding what you're doing. That's how I've always looked at it.
Yeah, that's a really good point. I've never really thought of it that way before, but
that's the thing. It's because we usually don't. Like, we're in the mindset, all right, we've decided to do a grand thing. All right, here's step one. We're the peons. We have to, and I get it. Like, that works a lot of the time, but it's not necessarily enjoyable.
Yeah. Yeah, so you're right.
And you have to take chances too.
You do. You got to put yourself out there in the universe, you have to constantly readjust in life, right?
It's true.
If we were like, okay, we're going to play bars and breweries and restaurants forever, then we're never going to grow. But if we say, we'll still do those when they're good and when they serve us and serve the audience.
Yeah.
But which is key, But if we didn't set our goals higher, then what do we have to reach for?
Exactly.
Because especially Whitherward is a very grassroots operation. We're building this one fan at a time, kind of a thing, and I think we're ready to readjust. So we're readjusting, and one of the things that we talked about, which is kind of a tough nut to crack apparently, is house concerts.
Yeah.
So I'm sure you've heard of house concerts. It's kind of the new wave of indie artists getting the word out about their music. So people who are music lovers and have a house that is appropriate for a house concert, like a big living room or some kind of a setup of some sort that would work. Probably not an apartment, basically. They put these concerts, they invite their friends, maybe 20 to 50 of their friends, and they charge each person $10, and they invite the artist to come in, and they have a show in their house. And usually there's hors d'oeuvres and alcohol and drinks, and then often it's great for touring artists because often they'll also have a place to stay. So a lot of artists are doing these house concert tours where they'll go from house to house to house, and these wonderful people who just love music and love the band will just open their doors and let them in and have these really cool concerts in their homes. So that's something we like to do.
Yeah, and crucially, the hope is when you do a house concert, or any concert, but a house concert in particular, is that you have a captive audience. So they're, it's more of a event at somebody's house that people walk in with the expectation of, yeah, there's a group here that's here from wherever, and they're going to share their talent with us in this person's personal space.
Yeah.
So it takes a slight bit more reverence, I suppose.
Which reminds me that I did one once.
And you forgot, I guess?
It was a while ago.
Oh, okay.
It was right before I moved to Nashville. This wonderful couple in Arizona, and they did exactly that. They invited all of their friends. I mean, I think I made, $400 or $500 on just the one show by myself, because everyone paid, and they requested songs, and I played mostly originals, and they all just sat in their living room, and I brought my PA in, they listened to me play, and then it was one of the, it was
Very
one
cool.
of the better shows I've done, actually. So
Very cool.
yeah, I mean, and you can too. If you're a music lover and you want to do something like this, you should. Because, I mean, I would if we don't really have the setup for it here, but it's something I would love to do one day, to have, different artists come in the living room and just invite all your friends over and charge them. So it's really simple to do. If you want to host a house concert, especially if you want to host us, just, booking at Whitherward.com.
Yeah.
Or you probably already have our phone numbers and Facebook information if you're watching this. And just ask us about it. And it's pretty easy. You just pick a date and you pick a time. And the artist brings the PA, and you bring the people and charge the people. Just tell them how much they expect, how much cash to bring, or they can probably do a card with a square reader.
Yeah.
And then that's it. And then you have an awesome concert in your home. You don't even have to go anywhere.
I think that's the biggest benefit for you, is you don't have to go anywhere.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
So on days like today, it's a perfect day for a house concert.
Well, yeah, you just hope your friends can still show up. You can invite your neighbors at that point.
Yeah.
But what's the, so we've been looking into a couple, this is kind of a tough nut to crack, from what we hear. The house concert circuit is a bit tough to break into, but once you break into one, you can kind of break into them all. So, Ed signed us up for something?
Well, there's a music. I got this idea from a music blog, Ari's Take. It's Ari Hairstrand, I think his name is. He's an artist that travels around and writes some really good articles.
Patreon.
And stuff like that.
Find him on Patreon.
Yeah, he's super
$1.
cool.
Really cool art stuff.
Yeah. And he mentioned a site a while ago, I think it was last July, called Fanswell. That's F-A-N Swell. And essentially what you do is create a profile and list your open dates where you would like to perform a house concert, where, when you'd like to do it, where you'd like to do it, anywhere in the country, really.
That's as the artist, though, right?
That's as the artist. So as an artist, you say, this is what I'm about, these are the dates I'm available, and then fans can also join Fanswell, just, folks who want to host concerts in their home or at a local place, like maybe a church or whatever, and can look through the artists and say, oh, hey, these guys would be great, and book artists directly for a house concert or a local show. And so it's a really interesting way for music lovers to invite artists into their homes for a show. And Fanswell kind of takes a lot of the logistics and pain out of setting that up with an artist. So it's actually pretty cool.
Yeah. So we're trying it out. So hopefully, something will come with that.
So we'll put a link to the profile on the YouTube video. So if you're interested, you can check out the profile and see what the dates are. And if you know anybody who might be interested, share it with them and just check it out.
Yeah. In the meantime, we've got some pretty cool shows we're excited about coming up. We've got we're playing at Ivy Wild School for the St. Baldrick's benefit.
Yep.
So I'll post some things about it. You can donate to it. It helps out a charity for kids with cancer, and people shave their heads, and we're playing. I'm not shaving my head. Maybe it is. We don't
I
know
might.
yet.
I don't know.
He almost cut his hair. It's a song he likes to sing. Anyway, so that's going to be fun. It's a great stage, great venue. We're playing at, we're going back to the Wild Goose, which, as you know, we love.
Love Wild
in
Goose.
Colorado Springs. We're playing at the Laughing Goat in Boulder, which I'm really excited about.
Cool.
In April, I think.
Yeah, top of April.
Yeah, and then we also got invited back to Ziggy's, which is a really cool blues venue. We played a full band show with J. Mike Krantz and Pat Collins, and it was really fun.
Really fun.
We're excited. That's a great place. Carla is awesome there, and so great venue. Check it out if you live in Denver. So we'll see what happens as far as the house concerts go, and we'll probably be weeding out some of the more regular venues that we've been doing. So you might see a little bit less on our schedule, but more quality. I don't want to use the word quality because that's not right.
Right. Well, just more shows that fall in line with what we're doing right now, what we want to do. So, and I think that's the difference is that there, you reach a point where there are shows like, oh, we would prefer to do shows like this, and so that's what we're aiming for.
Yeah.
So, and it's just sometimes your wants and your goals change, and that's what's happened. So I think that's what we're going for now.
And it's nice that, Ed and I can continue to talk and work through these things, and that's I think what makes us feel so successful in our own right.
Yeah.
And that being said, should we move on to the song?
Yeah, so the song for today, this was one that almost made it on Music Monster.
There were two songs that almost made it on Music Monster. And Music Monster almost made it on Stardust. Mm-hmm. So these songs will make it on another album. It's just didn't work.
No, this one's called Vulnerable. And I'm trying to reconstruct the story behind this one in my head right now.
I sort of remember. This was a co-write between me and Ed.
Yeah, and we, this was another one where you sent the lyrics, like some of the lyrics ahead of time.
Yeah.
And I just kind of look at them and I'm like, oh yeah, let's do this.
Yeah.
And then it wound up honestly sounding very similar to Dream of Sleeping.
Yeah, which is kind of the main reason it didn't go on the Music Monster, but we're gonna rework that a little bit. And but you'll hear what we're talking about. The melody and the lyrics are way different. It's just a little bit of the riff sounds kind of similar.
Yeah. So. But I think I really like how the lyrics turned out on this one.
Yeah. I remember we got really excited when we were done with writing this.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it
just kind of flew out. The rest, it was a very fast write.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a bit, and I like it because it is a bit oblique too. Like it's more, I don't know, there's more kind of images that are just little, you have to kind of decode a bit, which is what I like because it gives the listener a chance to decode them for themselves.
Yeah.
That's what I like about it. So.
Yeah, I'm still not entirely sure what it even means. I mean, this song is called Vulnerable. So, I mean, it's about feeling vulnerable.
Yeah.
But it's
But following the story, like the story of the song, you can kind of piece together for yourself, and we kind of do that. Yeah. So.
And I'm really glad that we're singing this one today because Ed does most of the singing.
Yeah, I'll take the reins today. That one. Not good. Okay, so that's the song. Thanks for watching. Without further ado, Vulnerable. I've spent thousands of seconds of minutes in the hands of Father Time. I've had my boundaries, but I've had no limits, 'cause I was never mine. And isn't it so wonderful? I've been millions of inches of shadows, staining heels like wine. I've watched my pride lose its head in the gallows, but I've never lost my mind. And isn't it all wonderful? Hold it together by the strength of the strings on my soul. If I blink for a moment, I'm vulnerable. Vulnerable. Come in, my friend, the water's fine. So he says to me, have some crackers, a little rye. You'll figure it out eventually. And isn't it so comfortable? And just as the silence became so familiar, I'm lost at sea, while the wind and the rain beat upon my face relentlessly. And isn't it so predictable? Hold it together by the strength of the strings on my soul. But after the storm, I'm vulnerable. 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 All that I fear is just one little tear, and I'll swim in an ocean of pain. When I pull the plug, let it drain, let it wash away. Don't let them see that it's me that has come to be vulnerable. 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 I've been the hero and I've been the villain, and I've been in between. And I can play the victim but also the keeper, but who played me? And isn't it so vulnerable? Vulnerable.
It's an emotional song.
That is, yeah, that's a pretty heavy one.
Yeah.
But I really like it. We haven't played that in a long time.
That felt good. Even though I almost screwed it up.
That's fine.
Yeah, wrong. No.
Getting excited, that's all.
Trying to jump ahead.
Yeah. Well, thanks for hanging with us. Please try to stay warm. It's been pretty cold the past week. or so. So
everywhere.
Everywhere.
Hopefully we'll see you guys on Thursday at the concert window.
Yeah, please check the Whitherward Facebook page for more info on that, on the concert window, and celebrate Ashley's birthday with us. Please remember to like the video if you dig it, subscribe to the channel if you want to see more, and until next time,
after these messages,
we'll be right back. Jazz hands. Somebody bring me some ham.
30 Rock.
Anyone?
Michael? Megan? Are you watching? Did you do it?
Did you do it? Yeah.